by Billowy. Looked like he was trying to catch that SCV and take it out before it was able to get up the ramp, but it did not do so. And this probe will die. So ByuN is winning in the information war. He knows exactly what's up. He saw all of the buildings. I believe, yeah, even seeing this pylon over here, so he knows where every pylon is. If he wants to throw down a scan, he'll be able to with great certainty that he'll hit whatever tech is being thrown down. And that is a great reassurance to have, because you really don't want to go for the blind scan, because if you waste a mule and you don't see anything, then you literally just wasted a mule. That's all you did. I like the positioning of this stalker. It will be able to do a lot to help deny these Marines their effectiveness. Taking one out for absolutely free. Second one's going to go down for a bit of zealot health. Gotta be careful with this stalker. Taking a lot of damage here, but it does stay alive. And actually, really nice micro from Billowy, keeping every single one of these units alive, injured but alive. That is a big deal. Taking out, I believe, 6 Marines for free. Giving him a fairly significant supply advantage, and also because of the chrono boost, also has a pretty large lead in the probe count as well. I'm curious to see if he's going to be. Actually, it looks like not going to be going for a third base anytime soon. It's going to be a big blink timing. We're likely going to see the warp prism pop out next as soon as that observer is done. There it is. So yeah, big blink timing coming up, and ByuN has not opted to take that third CC yet. Is also ramping up production of his own. So this is an interesting position to be in. The blink timing is not going to hit its intended target of a third CC. It's actually just going to be running into a bunch of bio that is about to have stim finished. So it's really like the battle of the timings here coming up. And I can't say with certainty which one is going to come out ahead. It's all going to come down to the blink micro, the micro of ByuN on the other side, and how well each of them keeps up with their, things like their production in the middle of it. So another Marine going down for free. A little too late. I was going to say, if Billowy gets this observer in position, could maybe snipe that tech lab, but is not researching anymore, so won't be able to. Well, actually, now it is. That's actually a really nice move from ByuN. Well, not only scanning to take out that observer. Oh, gotta be really careful with these stalkers. Just a giant blink backwards, which isn't really what you want to be doing in this situation. You really want to be doing those individual blinks. But anyway, I was gonna say, getting this concussive shell with the few Marauders there are, will really take down the effectiveness of that blink upgrade. But we'll see how much it really matters. The blinking of Billowy is pretty darn good as he shaves down this SCV count. A bunch of them going down, Marauders in the back still staying alive because of that medevac, but still more and more SCVs being lost. Having almost double the worker supply now is Billowy, and taking out the medevacs as well is a huge deal. Good micro from ByuN doing that pickup, but I just don't think it matters. Blink forward. Oh, the micro, the medevac micro. It's so good, so good. Almost exclusively because of that pickup micro, this is going to be pushed back actually. The pickup micro, 1, saved a few of the Marauders, but 2, soaked up a lot of the stalker shots on this medevac that then just retreated, allowing the Marauders that were left over to do a bunch more damage on the ground. So that was absolutely defended. ByuN did lose a lot of workers. He's currently 10 worker supply down. I mean, mules do a bit to counteract that, but you really don't want to be that far in a deficit. But the big issue is you look at Billowy's base. You have gateways and you have a twilight. Like, and you know, you have a robo, but like it doesn't really matter. Like the tech is not here. The tech is not here. There's not a single forge. I don't think there are any eBays either. But if you stick on pure infantry versus pure gateway force, the infantry will win as you get further and further into the game, especially when you include things like medevacs, you know, doing effective drop tactics, which ByuN is absolutely fantastic at. Yeah, if we stick on just pure gateway, I believe stemming out of that time warp, don't want to get caught in that. The SCVs are pulled once again. Some of them do get caught in that time warp, but they get on top of the stalkers anyway, and ByuN takes it. The follow-up all-in of Billowy does not get a win, which means we're going into game 2 with ByuN up 1. So next we're going to Frozen Temple. Frozen Temple, which is another one of our fairly commonly seen maps. But if we get into the later stages of this matchup, then we're gonna see some of the less common ones. We're gonna get Apotheosis in here, New Gettysburg, Galactic Protocol. Those are our next 3 maps. ByuN is ready, and so is Billowy. Let's get into it. We're going into our second match of the finals of the Korean Cup #1 ABC. Does that work? Let me know in the chat if that works. If that sounds at all like something you'd want to be watching. Okay, let's get into this. In the bottom right hand corner of our map, we have the blue Terran player. He is ByuN. And in the top left, we have our red Protoss player for the Afrika Freaks, Billowy. So Billowy up here. I seriously doubt we're going to see another CC first. Yep, there's the gateway. I just can't imagine it's a very, very viable choice on this map in particular, especially since we've been seeing so many Terran players going for that 1-1-1 push that we saw last game. So yeah, that could be something we see again. I'm wondering if that will be the case, or if we're going to see something different. Kind of would like to see a macro game come out between these two, but we'll see. Both of them sort of setting up for that timing in the last one, and we once again see that Gate Nexus core build. Factory is being thrown down, and it's not your typical Reaper expand. So this very well could be one of those 1-1-1 timing attacks, and it actually could be the one base variety. Yeah, with this reactor coming up, it's looking like it very well could be. And the one base variety of this, last game we saw this, it was the 2 base push. The 1 base hits significantly faster. Not quite as hard, of course, but from what I've seen, it seems to have a bit higher of a success rate. Although, obviously these players have practiced it quite a bit, so they do know what they're, they obviously know what they're doing, and they play whichever one fits their style best. But of course, this looks like it actually is not going to be that. I suppose we're just going to have like a 1 base Widowmine drop. Seems a little odd. This seems like one of those things that you almost always expand before doing. Now it could be something else. We shall see. Widowmine gonna burrow here. If it did burrow immediately, it actually could have sniped that adept with well, with ease, but does not get down right away. Oh, gonna be using the adept shade very, attempting to use it very cleverly, where you almost use your shade like a blink ability when you move inside the Widowmine, and then misses it again. So okay, so basically what he's trying to do is you move your adept in, the Widowmine shot goes off, and as the shot is targeting your adept, like as it's traveling to it, you shade out and it wastes the shot. But it turns out it's just at this time a lot of wasted APM. Okay, so this actually is looking like it's going to be that contain. We do have a tank on the way. We have a liberator, and with a medevac included in this, it's actually going to be pretty darn difficult to hold off, because it will be able to move the tank around. It'll be able to heal up this bio, and yeah, ByuN has the choice of either trying to take out that base or just go for the jugular, and he's going for it. Trying to snipe a stalker, does not quite get it, but now he's here with the tank, gonna siege this up on the low ground. And this is a pretty big deal. One stalker does go down, and now if any probes try and come down this ramp, they're gonna be shelled by that tank quite in advance, getting into a good position down right at the bottom of the ramp. One sieging up the liberator. Okay, the probes are pulled. Tank is being focused on top of the stalkers. Marines taking out the probes that are trying to get on top of that tank. Second tank though, and ByuN takes it. Did I have ByuN as winning that first game? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. ByuN did win it. I got confused for a second. Anyway, we're going to game 3 with ByuN up 2-0, so we're going to Apotheosis. Apotheosis, another giant map. Very, very long rush distance, so this could very well be another time where we see both players going for something like a CC and Nexus first. Not quite sure how this matchup plays out on this map, because it's fairly new. We don't have quite an established metagame, but that, you know, because of the rush distance, it seems like something that could be possible. Although since it is a 2-player map, the effectiveness of proxies does go up. So that is a bit of a deterrent from going for that type of heavy, even like macro cheese, you could call it. Or just, you know, heavy macro play. Anyway, we're getting into our next game. It's on Apotheosis, and this could very well be the last game of the tournament. So let's get into it. In the top left-hand corner of our map, we have our blue Terran player, currently teamless. It is ByuN. And in the bottom right, our red Protoss player for the Afrika Freaks, Billowy. And now is where we get to see if all that talk I had about Nexus first is really viable. And no, it might be viable, but neither player is going for a quick expansion. I won't straight up say it's not viable, because, you know, there are a lot of ways you can go about things. And the other thing is, like, these matchups and these new maps have just not been figured out yet. Nobody really knows what they're doing. There are always new things you can find when we change the map pool. Especially, like, this doesn't affect this matchup at all. But especially when you include the fact that we also had a balance patch included. So everyone's just sort of trying to figure things out at the moment. Not that it affects this matchup though, because there are no queens or spore crawlers here. At least not yet. Both players reverting to the most standard builds they have. Reaper expand versus 1 gate expand. Now, where is this probe headed? Is that going to scout? Doesn't really look. I'm just a little confused because Billowy has not been probe scouting. So we'll get the scout in here. Actually a little delayed, but that works out in his favor because then you dodge the Reaper. So gets to see the CC, gets to see the Reaper timing, and also the reactor. So that accounts for basically all the gas. Now, you know, ByuN did have the gas to throw down that factory, but there was no way that probe was getting in the main anyway. So wouldn't have seen that even if it was a little later. We got the early twilight again, and in the first game we saw the non-committal blink play. Ooh. So that probe does go down. Was that going? That's not where you would take your third, right? Like you probably. I imagine the Protoss player would want to take the third over to the left, or even at the gold. I can't imagine. So was that an attempt to proxy something? I guess we're not going to find out. Well, maybe we will. No, okay, just going to. Okay, we are going to find out. We're going to find out exactly what that probe is up to, and it looks like it's going to be a proxy somewhere. Now, it's too late to, for example, proxy a Dark Shrine. And there's already a robo on the way, so proxying something like a gateway for the faster reinforcement doesn't really make sense to me. So I'm really curious what this is going to be. I suppose it could still be the gateway, and then you just use a warp prism for the extra micro capabilities of like, or just so you can hit it multiple fronts. Okay, yeah, it is that gateway. Now, ByuN getting some good map vision, throwing these depots around. And, yeah, Billowy's gonna try and hit with a big glaive adept warp gate timing. Oh, the scan goes down. It sees... Okay, yeah, it sees that the Twilight was being chronoed. It sees all of the gateways, and now ByuN has to be very suspicious. The question is, will he have enough to hold it, even if he knows it's coming? So is there no warp prism coming with this? I suppose not. No warp prism coming, so just gonna be using this for the forward warp in point. And I'm really surprised not to see a warp prism. Although we do have a third base coming up as well, so this isn't nearly as all in as in the last game we saw Billowy do this. So shading in with the adepts. Is he going to commit to this? He is. So he actually does commit to that shade. Gets a few SCVs shaved off. Actually taken out 8 already, which is a pretty big deal. That puts the worker advantage in Billowy's favor. Depots do get lifted up. I'm really surprised we haven't yet seen a... oh, the shade was used and all of these adepts are stuck. Marines hopping between bunkers, but there are just enough of them that this... You know, this is just... These adepts need to be quite careful here. Second bunker going down once again. The adepts might want to focus that before it actually finishes. Taking out the gas is important, but there wasn't anything mining there anyway. And if this bunker finishes, then that can be a pretty big deal in holding. And this is just such great SimCity by ByuN. Okay, second bunker is done. Adepts are trying to take out this depot, and it will be taken out. So that's, you know, that's helpful. But this is just so, the replacement effect. If those shades got in, that would completely change this fight. But the fact that the Marines are stuck behind the bunker really helps their effectiveness against the Adepts. Another reinforcement wave comes up, and I believe this might just be enough for Billowy to break through this. Focusing down that bunker, gonna take out a few of the Marines that were inside it. SCVs are repairing the second one, but a lot of them are going down. 15 SCVs die in this engagement. More Marine reinforcements though. So this attack wave is cleaned up. I believe you want to cancel that shade. And ByuN is victorious because he held that 2 base all in. I believe that Billowy could have stayed in that a bit longer. You know, he didn't have the tech. But he did have like a 20 worker lead. That is a pretty darn big deal. So yes, GG to all players involved, and thank you all for coming out and watching the tournament. This has been episode 1, or cup number 1 of the Korean region for the ASL-Bacon Infinity Championship Series, or the ABC, as I on the spot decided to start calling it. So thank you for watching, and if you enjoy the series, please hit that follow button. Tell your friends that we're here. We're actually here with this 4 days a week. So we've got Korea, which is, you know, today, right now, just finished, so you know when this one is. Southeast Asia / China / Asia region is going to be tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Eastern time. Then we have a bit of a break until Friday, at which point we have the European Cup at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Saturday we have the the American Cup, which is at 3 p.m. Eastern time. So that is all of the Americas, and then back to Korea on Sunday. So yeah, I hope to see you for all of those days. But please, if you like the series and you want to see it continue for as long as possible, hit !crowdfund in the chat, which will link you to our Indiegogo page. And from there, you can put in a contribution if you wish to help extend the life of the series. Now, because we're a bit delayed on creating our end of event video explaining exactly who our contributors to Indiegogo are, I'm just gonna say them out here because we really appreciate all of your help. So we have Cyan Esports, we have Mick Monroe, Dark is the Void, Nicholas Simpson, Fezvez, Baklav Bohak, Miller Cleland, Jay Chang, Ronan McCarthy, and Cole Modler. Thank you all for your contributions. It's really greatly appreciated. So I'm going to find someone to host. I hope to see you guys all tomorrow morning for the Southeast Asian and for the Southeast Asian tournament. And yeah, hope to see you then. Have a good day.